I hate debate content. It is the real life equivalent of watching two nerds go, "You activated my trap card!" Except they're talking about whether people should have human rights or not. See, debates have all these rules, and it's all about tricking the other person into fucking up the rules. And that's who determines who wins or loses, not moral ground or intelligence. I guess there is some skill in tricking someone into falling into one of the debate fallacies. I will say the one good thing that comes from debate content is the debate fallacies. I have them on a sticky note. I don't have all of them. There's a bunch. You should go look them up, actually. But I have the ones that I particularly see getting fucked up a lot by people on the news and by the people we have put in power. And by the nature of debate content, Trump and JD Vance should not be in fucking office. Yet, people who make debate content keep winning for their side somehow. It's frankly very annoying. And I think part of that is because they represent the immoral side. They can easily push everyone that's not them into the ad hominem fallacy, which is the second on my list here. The ad hominem fallacy is anytime you character attack someone for being a shit person instead of debating their argument. The other ones I want to talk about, I've got false dichotomy and false analogy, which are very similar. A false dichotomy is anytime someone says, there are two things anything can be. There's either A or there's B. And then a false analogy is, this person from group A did this thing from group B. Therefore, all of group A is group B. Now, this could be gone both ways. But the stats never line up, and they definitely push more towards one way than the other. You know, the party of projection. Straw man. This is taking a part of someone's argument and misrepresenting it as something that's easier to debate. So I'll say something like, I think trans people should have rights. And they would go, so you think men belong in the women's bathroom? That is a misrepresentation of that argument. That is a straw man. Then there's slippery slope, which is the fallacy used to describe when someone says one thing is going to lead to another, then to another, then to another. That's saying the publication of D&D is going to turn everyone into Satanists. Of course that didn't fucking happen, and it's not going to happen. Then there's the causal fallacy. That is saying this thing causes that thing. That's saying Tylenol causes autism just because they found some traces of Tylenol in some autism cases. There's no proven correlation there's no proven causal correlation, but they found traces of A in parts of B group, and so they say A causes B. Tylenol does not cause autism, and for that one quote of RFK Jr., neither does a circumcision.
Many other confirmation studies. There's two studies that show children who are circumcised early have double the rate of autism. None of this is positive. None of this is positive. But all of it is stuff that we should be paying attention to.
And then there's ad populum, which is when you go into a debate using quote-unquote facts that the populace believes in but are provably untrue. That is the idea that whatever the masses believe is the truth, and then you can use that in debate. I hate debate content because if you fuck up one of these, even if you're in the right, your whole arguments gets torn down. But I want you to know what these fallacies are so you can look at the guys in the big house and the other big house who fuck it up all the time and are controlling the ad populum just for people who make debate content to go and argue excessively. And that's the other thing is like debate content builds a culture of arguing about it rather than any constructive criticism or constructive anything, frankly. I'm getting a drink. I'll be right back. Uh, Not alcohol this time. You're going to be proud of me. Sprite. Debate content is the kind of content Charlie Kirk was known for. Charlie Kirk didn't really pioneer the genre. You can go to any high school, there's a debate club, and they do the same shit. They're like, I threw a dart at this random spot on the political compass, and I'm going to make this my entire personality for the next 10 years of my life. That's the other thing with debate content, though, is like, I mean, they don't actually get to pick where on that compass they land. And frankly, if you told me to debate any point on that compass, I would do my research and do it. They don't do that. They're just like, I found some interesting arguments to defend this. I might not even morally agree with this, but really weird that there's good arguments to be had here. I must give some credit to it. And then I'm going to take that and I'm going to debate someone that believes in the opposite, which is something I might agree with, but he doesn't know the facts I know. Therefore, I'm going to win and beat his ass and prove this point I don't believe in right. In the world of debate, it comes down to how many good arguments have you memorized. Like, we've all heard the despite making up 13% of the population thing, which is which could have bias based on who a cop is more likely to arrest. But that is an argument that anyone can take and defend a point somewhere around here on the political compass, even if they actually sit somewhere around here on the political compass. And that's what happens is they get fascinated with an endless series of points that defend a spot on that compass. And they want to sit there on that spot and spit those arguments and become a living parrot for these arguments that in some cases only exist to damage society and the rights of others. And all they see it as, this is fascinating that we have this argument. This is fascinating that this is true about this group of people. This is fascinating. And they build that fascination up and up and up until they've genuinely hurt people's political image. And they're like, well, it's not my fault. I hate debate content. Every time I watch it, it's like I believe people should have rights. And then the other guy goes, even rapists? And he's like, yeah, they have the right to due process and they should be held trial for their crimes. I'm like, this guy believes rapists should have rights. That's what it is. It's so dumb. And then the guy goes, hey, that's strawman and ad hominem, you dumb fuck. Wow, big guy with the nerd words. It's actually genuinely funny. Sometimes. But that was the thing, though, is like most debate content is between two people that know the fallacies and can argue each other on that footprint and bring up like good debate points. But it all comes down to memorizing a bunch of points. The problem with Charlie Kirk, though, was he was taking this debate skill, this debate knowledge, and all the straw man shit, and he was doing it against random college kids with prepared arguments, and they couldn't come at him with words like straw man. And they couldn't come at him with words like ad hominem because they were just normal college kids. They weren't even like political science majors. They were just the college kids that he was trying to indoctrinate to the right. And he gave them his prepared list of memorized right-wing arguments. And they're like, fascinating. And that's the thing, though, is a leftist could have gone up there and said their left-wing arguments and it would have balanced out. But the idea is that like people on the left don't have to do that because the moral right, because moral correctness shouldn't have to be argued on a fucking stage. I don't even know how I'm gonna Chameleon. I hate debate content. You know what? I'm gonna try to give an example of a left wing person who is morally correct losing via the debate rules. And that looks something like, because I would be on the right in this situation, so I could be the right screen. Well, I need to unmirror my camera so I can actually know how I look like on it. I'm gonna fuck this up like 1,000 times. So imagine I'm on the right. Crazy. Unfortunately, a lot of other guys with beards like this represent the right wing on TikTok. It's kind of frustrating. I can see, I get a feed on the TikTok Studio app of creators who do stuff similar to what I do and creators that my viewers are most likely to watch. And it's nothing but MAGA vid after MAGA vid after MAGA vid. But the thing they all have in common is they all have my exact same beard. This is apparently a MAGA beard. I just think I look nice. Anyways, imagine I'm on the right and I say, I don't think trans people should be in public restrooms. And someone on the left goes, hey, by the way, did you know? First of all, this is already leading into straw man because this is bringing up an argument separate of this. But it goes, hey, man, did you know that statistically more people on the right look up trans porn? Which is a true fact, by the way. Trans porn is famously more popular in red states. And they can just turn around and go, straw man, ad hominem, you're a fucking idiot, and win. That's the rules of debate. That person on the left could have stayed relevant. Could have gone, so where should they use the bathroom? In the bathroom for the gender they were assigned at birth. What if they don't have those parts anymore? They're still a man, therefore they should be in the men's restroom. So you think a person with boobs and a vagina could safely enter a men's restroom? And that would be straw man. And believe it or not, that even being a potentially fair argument to some people out there, I'm gonna kind of want to distract from the fact that that's the same argument a person on the right would use to prevent trans masks going into a men's restroom as well. But what a straw man argument is I took what they said and I twisted the words around into something that I could more easily argue into something I could more easily argue against. And that is bad faith debate. And therefore that guy, my left wing representative, would have lost that fight. Despite the moral correctness of, hey, we should maybe think about this. And again, since I'm on the trans topic again, I'm gonna say I believe in trans rights, and I believe in genderless public restrooms with full length stall doors so that no one can rape anybody. It should be that easy, right? Anyways, I hate debate content. It's you made rules for arguments. Let's just go on Twitter and call each other idiots like we did in the good old days. And then at the end of it, we realize that, hey, maybe human beings are human beings and we should treat them as such. Or not. I don't know. I believe on this side of the argument, your church tells them, hey, you should agree with those people. And on this side of the argument, they're going, hey, your church thinks you should agree with me. And there's people on the right going, I choose to be voluntarily stupid. I don't know how I'm going to turn this into a video. I got 22 minutes of content. I'm pretty sure none of it is good. I can probably make noises. You want me to make noises? Hey, there's Sonic the Hedgehog in that mirror. And the Nosuke's still here. That's fun, ain't it? Yeah. Thank you so much for watching and stay a fan.